Hey people, welcome to Top Cat's Lair, or Lair, whatever. Now, I'm trying to wrap my head around this Player's Handbook, 5th edition. So I'm learning as I go. It's way back in the day I used to play 3.5 edition, and it would take me just days and days to make a character and learn the rules and everything. Then 4th edition came along, and I was sweet. I was sweet with 4th edition. Very simple, very mainstreamed, streamlined, everything. Made it a bit easier, but it kind of focused on dungeon crawling more than it did with anything else. And basically, if you want to roleplay, it's not that great. But if you want to combat, it's really good system, the 4th edition of D&D. What I had in my hands was the 5th edition. And 5th edition kind of brings it all together. It has gets rid of all the complicated stuff from 3.5. Has some nifty combat stuff, but I haven't really delved into the combat yet, but it focuses on character, which I hear was like the Dungeons and Dragons 2.0 stuff. So, what am I making? I am making a Tiefling Warlock, and they basically have pacts. They get their spells by making a pact with some greater being, not a god or anything, just a greater being, a more powerful being. Some choose archphase, like some ancient deer spirit or whatever. Some choose like demons, like Asmodeus and all them, kind of like a Faustian deal, and others choose elder ones like Cthulhu and beings from the astral plane, weird, messing with your head kind of things. And that's what I chose. I chose one of them. I didn't name it. I'm going to leave that up to my DM to choose. But yeah, I'm enjoying creating this character and figuring it out. So I've chosen a few spells that kind of match what I'm going for with my character concepts. So they've got a sage background because this character's name is Sanguine, which means bloody, and it also means kind of peaceful. I got that from Firefly, if some of you geeks figured that out. So I'm just looking through the book, looking at the spells, and yeah, I chose some spells that kind of fit my character. I've got a character background that I'm going to put in the description. But yeah, I chose, of course, Eldritch Blast, which is Warlock's kind of bread and butter. They just use it as their main attack, main ranged attack. And then I'm choosing as my other cantrip. Cantrips are kind of like immediate spells that you don't have to prepare, they're just always on hand, and they don't use up spell slots, which is handy. Poison Spray, which is a close range attack, does poison damage, obviously, so it's within 10 feet, so if something becomes too close to me, I won't get a disadvantage for using a ranged attack. That's my thought behind that. So Eldritch Blast for far away attacks, for ranged attacks, and Poison Spray for close up attacks. And I have Thaumaturgy, which is a Tiefling cantrip, which is basically you can make your voice booming or change the color of your eyes or kind of make weird sounds happen, kind of creepy shit, like a fortune teller would do as a trick, or say Gandalf does it in Lord of the Rings. When he makes his voice booming and his shadow kind of stretch out, you know. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. You know, that thing in the Lord of the Rings movie where he does that. That's thaumaturgy, basically. Make shit scary. Because that's what I do. I mess with your head. I mess with your head. And then we go into my first level spells. Now, you get spell slots and you get leveled spells. And the great thing with warlocks for first-time spellcasters like myself, they keep it simple. Basically, as you level up, your spells level up. All of them. So instead of you have several different levels of spell slots, it keeps it simple. You don't get as many, but I mean, for someone who's new to spellcasting, that's kind of cool. That's kind of fine. I'll just spam the same spells. I don't care. But yeah, I chose. What did I choose as my spells? I chose, out of the Warlock spells, I chose Arms of Hadar. Arms of Hadar kind of fit my background. If you read my backstory, you'll understand why I chose it. For the flavor. I'm trying to roleplay this one. I'm not trying to get the best power game it. I'm just trying to make it sound right to what I wrote as my background. So, Arms of Hadar. You invoke the power of Hadar, the dark hunger. Tendrils of dark energy erupt from you and batter all creatures within 10 feet of you. So yeah. That sounds exactly what my kind of patron, my being, whatever, elder one that chose me, or I chose it. You should decide. What did I do? I don't know. So there's that, and then because I've got an elder one patron, I have this other thing. One sec, I'll look it up. Elder one, depending on your patron, either Archfey, Fiend, or Great Old One. You get different spells per level, so you can choose from an expanded spell list. So I went, well, to keep with the flavor, let's go with one of these, at least one. So I got Dissonant Whispers, because I'm going to be all mind messy. I'm going to mess with your head. Mess with your brain, man. Mess with your brain. So Dissonant Whispers. Let's look that up. There was another one which was hilarious. Something about laughter that makes them kind of fall into a ball and just laugh their asses off. Dissonant Whispers is you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. So it must make a wisdom throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage, and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. They can't move into obvious danger areas, but on a successful save, if they beat the wisdom save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. And deaf creatures obviously can't get affected by it. But it looks good. They're pretty cool spells. And it matches what my character's like. This is pretty cool. I'm still figuring everything out. It's gonna, it's got hardly any health, hardly any strength, because it's not strength based. But it's got a bit of dex for some defense, and I can use versatile weapons, which allow me to use dex instead of strength on melee weapons. But I've got that poison spray as a cantrip, so if things get really close, I can just use poison spray and they get poisoned in the face! In the face! So that's pretty cool. And that's my first level thing, really. That's what it is at first level. So yeah, I'll leave a link in the description of my backstory. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. And you know what? If you're a power gamer and you got some tips on playing a Warlock, fine. But don't bitch to me about, oh, you chose that spell and that spell's not optimized to blah blah blah. Who cares? I'm here to roleplay, motherfucker. So screw you. I just want to play. I'm playing, and character's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun. I'll play with my mates. Yeah, I'm liking 5th edition. I just gotta wrap my head around. I'm still like finalizing everything. I gotta write down what equipment I have. And then I gotta figure out how to play, because play is probably gonna be a little bit different, which is in part 2. Page 171. Part 2. Using ability scores. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Sanguine, the Tiefling Warlock, who has an Elder One pact. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna let you know what's going on in my campaign as I do it. And, stay groovy. And I'll see you next time on the Top Cats Lair. Or lair. Or whatever.